Hi everybody, I've been getting a lot of questions about physical comic books and collectibles. It's obviously something I do know a little bit about. Let's talk about it. So a lot of people have been asking me about buying physical comic books, and so I wanted to walk through a little bit of it today. I thought I'd show you some stuff and then kind of talk where I bought these different comics. And that will kind of lead to a discussion about it all rather than just me telling you. It's kind of fun to look at something while I'm telling you something. So let's get to it. All right, so the first thing I think I will tell you, if you want to buy a physical comic book, I think from the Veve perspective, you're going to want to buy books maybe we have on the app. And that's natural, and that makes sense to me. But I would actually tell you, I would say go to Google Maps, find your nearest local comic book shop. Hopefully you have one close by. And just take, half an hour and walk around. I think you'll really enjoy it. You'll see new books, you'll see old books, you'll see all kinds of crazy stuff, and they'll have generally boxes of old books that you can kind of go through. They might have fun little collectibles like this. This is Stan Lee. See if I can get out of the way here so it can focus. Hopefully it can focus. So I definitely think you should give that a try. For example, I was able to pick up this at a local comic book shop here in town. As you would know, this is Avengers 80. We've seen this on the app. I got it for I think $5 or something like that. This is a pretty beat up copy. And this brings me to my second point, which is a lot of people right away want to buy the graded comics. Those are the ones in the plastic slabs. The term is they're slabbed. They have a grade from either CGC or CBCS. Those are the major companies that do it, and both of them are pretty comparable, although CGC is generally the leader, and people try to go to that first. I have both books from CBCS and CGC. I'll show you some of those, and I kind of feel like they're very comparable at this point. But go to your local comic book shop, lots of fun, and you don't always have to buy a graded comic. So let's talk about that some more. The next thing that you could do in buying comics is you can go to your LCS and get on what's called a pull list. So you'd say, I really want to read X-Men, and they would pull that comic for you each month. You could come back. They generally give you a discount if you have a pull list. And so instead of paying $5 or whatever for the comic, maybe you're paying $4. And so a lot of the comics I get, I have on a pull list. So this would be an example. This is House of X. I wanted this book. I knew it was coming out. I asked my local comic book store to reserve it. I got a good price. I actually bought a ton of them, and so these are fun. I also got the very fun variant, which you are familiar with, which is the Secret Rare, and the corresponding Powers of X, which is the, try and get this out of the glare. I can't. Well, you get the feel. You get the picture. So fun books that I got for under $5. Are looking to collect some books. You want to have them to put on your wall or whatever it might be. You're not necessarily so focused on reselling them. That's why I have a lot of raw copies, because I don't know if I'm going to sell some of these books. If I do, maybe I would consider getting them graded. Let's talk about that process for just a second. If you take your raw books and you get them graded at CGC or CBCS, it's generally about $25 to $30. You have to pay for the shipping there and back. So, you're maybe in $40, $50. That's probably a little bit overestimating, but I'll say that for now. And they takes a very long time. Right now, it's anywhere between 6 to 8 months. And so that's a long process. And of course, you're hoping to get a great grade, but you're kind of at the mercy, and you never know what's going to happen. I can make a separate video, and there are a ton of videos that talk about grading your comic. The last thing is, if you have a book that you buy raw and you want it to kind of be slabbed, you can buy these kind of fake slabs. So this book is not graded. It is in a fake plastic slab that I bought. And if you're interested, just DM me. I'll tell you where you can get these. And though this book is Amazing Spider-Man 15, it is the first appearance of Kraven the Last Hunter, or Kraven. And The Last Hunt is books that are coming out this week in Veve, and so I thought I'd pick this one just because it's a fun one, because this is his first appearance. The books that are coming out this week are not his first appearance. It's just an iconic run. One of the most spectacular ones was this villain, Kraven the Hunter. Okay, so let's get into the graded piece of it all. So I said the local comic book shop, the LCS, which is definitely a good place to look, but really the one that most people go to is eBay, and you should. It's the largest online marketplace for physical comic books. The two recommendations I have for you there are, number one, when you're looking at things for the comic you're looking at, go to the left-hand side and click on Show Last Sold, excuse me. And that will give you feel. It's just like Veve, where you could list a comic for $1 million, but the ones that are selling are 1,000, and you want to know what the last sold are. There's also other paid websites like Go Collect where you can go there, pay money, and they will show you additional data on what is sold. You want to do your research to make sure that you, especially if it's an expensive comic, to make sure that you're getting what you want. So definitely you could DM me. I'll do my best to try and help you. But and the good thing when you buy on eBay, if there's some sort of scandal, they will give you your money back. You do have to prove it, and it's a long process, so it's better to know what you're buying. Some things that have happened in the past that you want to be careful of is that people have tried to take the book out and then they slide in a different version of the book that's not graded as well. So there are some scams, but that's really not as common anymore because these new slabs are sealed really well. But it's something to look for. If you have anything that you are buying on eBay and you want me to take a look, DM me on Twitter with the link to eBay, and I'll look at it and give you my best opinion on it. Anyways, I'll show you this book. This is Thanos 13. This is a very rare variant of it. This is the ultra rare in Veve. Should have been the secret rare in my opinion. And I will talk about this. I got a 9.6 and say, oh, why didn't you get a 9.8? Well, as you would note, and as you look around, there is a huge premium if you move from 9.6 to 9.8. Just like if you get some of those lower mints in Veve, they can get spendy. And so for me, because I often just want to have the book, I'm just excited to have the comic, I will often pay a 9.6. Even lower than that, anything over 9 I'm happy with. I could put a 9.6 here and a 9.8, you couldn't tell visually. But the 9.8, the reason why you'd want to buy it is if you really, really love the character. And if you're looking from the investment perspective, because of course the 9.8s do go up in value a lot faster than some of the other books. So something to think about, but just remember, you don't always have to get the 9.8. Do your research, obviously ask me some questions. So one of the places that I buy a lot of comics from is Instagram. There are a number of people that sell their comics on Instagram. They have auctions and other things, and same thing as always, you're going to want to kind of get in there, watch, get a feel for it, ask a lot of questions. Maybe you don't want to spend a lot of money. Start with spending $5, $10, $20. You don't need to spend hundreds of dollars. And a lot of the books that are sold on Instagram are raw. So if you're not into that, but you can get a lot of good deals there too. See, that's the one. The one that I go to, and actually I buy a lot of graded books, is Elite Comics 11. I'll post their link somewhere. And I do have bought a lot of books from them. They're very good. And they have auctions literally every night that run for a couple hours. They generally start around, I'm guessing, around 6, 7 Central Time and might run for 2 or 3 hours. And some nights they have raw books, some nights they have graded books. I've just had such a great experience with them. They bring in all kinds of different vendors, really from all over the place, even Canada. I'm here in the United States, so I should say from the United States and in Canada. They have great relationships with everybody, and they really have, I think, some of the most competitive prices. So what you'll want to do is you can either contact me or just go get on IG, get an account, and go to, I'll put the link, and just start watching some of their auctions. And you'll kind of see how it works. You basically just type prices into the chat, and it's really quite easy. I'll show you some of the books I purchased from them, and let's just talk. So one of the books I purchased through them, I'm going to show you some big books now, is Hulk 1. So this is a very rare book. I think there might be 1,300 of them left in the world. This is the first appearance of Incredible Hulk. Notice it's only a 1.8. Very, very expensive. I won't give you all the details, but it was more than $10,000 for this comic. I do believe they'll bring this one to Veve, and so it's an exciting one to have. Another book that I purchased through Elite Comics 11 is really the granddaddy of them all. This is Amazing Fantasy 15, first appearance of Spider-Man, Peter Parker Spider-Man. For most physical comic book collectors, this is one of the holy grails, if not their holy grail. For me, it is my holy grail. I'm really happy to have this one. There are only about 2,200, maybe 2,400 of these in existence, graded. It's a very old book, 62, I'm sorry. And just happy to have one. These are hard to hunt down. So when you're talking about that kind of money, you really want to go with a credible person that you can trust. Last one that I have for you is this comic here. And there's an element of this I want to talk about. This one you will recognize is from the app. This is Ultimate Fallout 4, the first appearance of Miles Morales. A very hot book these days. And the one significance here, this one is a 9.8, but you'll notice this gold label. And that's because this one has been signed. I actually think this is double signed. Yeah, this is double signed by Mark Bagley and Clayton Crane. Clayton Crane is one of my favorite artists. This one is an awesome book. Very happy to have it, but I'm actually going to sell this book. So if you're interested, and I will trade it for some Veve NFTs. So like a Todd or something like that would probably be the going price for a book like this. Very hard to find 9.8 signed and double signed. So let me know if you're interested in that. I definitely will trade you for some NFTs for this one. I'll even pick up the shipping. So another fun one, and that is the other thing that I wanted to say is I think that, and it's been really, I'll put a tweet up here. Veve has said they are going to have that capability within the app where an artist could sign the comic or NFT, and then it would have that in the blockchain metadata, so it would be verified forever. That would be really, really cool. It's basically the equivalent of having this yellow label. So that's what I have for you today. I thank you very much. If you have any questions about this, definitely DM me. I'll do my best to provide any assistance I can. But I appreciate you guys. Take care.